Top of the morning to you. As you can tell from my attire, it is the week of St. Patrick's Day. I am today at Kelly's Irish Pub, and I haven't been around doing videos a lot lately. I kind of was under the impression people didn't really care. But you know what? I've had some friends of mine, some successful YouTubers and stuff, say, you know what? You should stick to it. So I'm giving it a try. I'm going to keep going. Hopefully, you guys like it. If you like it, please let me know. Anyway, my name is Brett. I'm the singer for a glam metal band here in Canada called Gelatin Skeleton, and I hope you'll check us out. In the meantime, what I do on this channel is I like to talk about cassette tapes and media and stuff like that I have, and rather than rely on regurgitated internet facts, I go just by stuff I remember about them. So this is a very personal, my memory type thing. So I hope you'll give it a listen. Now, in this edition, I actually know what the tapes are. I've chosen them, and each of them is a Canadian band or musical artist. So here we go. Let's start off with the first one, Doriana cassette single from Paul Laine. So Paul Laine is a Canadian singer. I assume he's from out west. His album, which I also have the full length of, is called "Stick It in Your Ear," I believe, and it was produced by Bruce Fairburn. And I never heard of the guy until that came out with. I thought, how did this dude get such a big shot producer? But he's really a fantastic singer. I got this cassette single somewhere downtown, and I think I must have seen his picture in Metal Edge, because that was usually Metal Edge magazine the reason why I bought stuff. So Paul Laine has an excellent voice. It's a weird thing. At the time in 1990, I guess it was, I was not really, I couldn't really appreciate singer-songwriters the way I do today. I kind of was like, why doesn't this dude have a band? And this sort of thing is going to come up again. But at any rate, Paul Laine did go on afterwards to replace Ted Poley in the band Danger Danger. And they did an album. I mean, they did other stuff. I'm not going to go into their whole history, but they did an album called Dawn that came out in like 93, 94. And I remember buying that through like Paris Records or something like that. And that's an excellent record. Every song on it is really, really good. The performances are fantastic. But I listened to it recently, and I was a little bummed out about how Danger Danger went from so happy to like this album was so dark, and how dark music had gone in those time periods. So that was kind of a bummer. But I do love the album Dawn. But what I'm talking about right now is the Paul Laine "Stick It in Your Ear." This is the single Doriana. Doriana really sings the hell out of the song. He's currently, believe it or not, singing for the band Trooper, which is basically like a Canadian band that's like, been around forever and everyone loves them. He's singing for them, and I'm looking forward to maybe seeing them in concert with Paul Laine. I'll probably be the only guy in the audience going, "Oh my God, it's the dude from Danger Danger," but that's just me. That's the way I roll. My next tape is Big House, self-titled. I love this tape. I remember, actually, I have a funny story about the first time I heard these guys. Their first single was called "Dollar in My Pocket," and I first heard it. I was at a store called Flash Cadillac, which was downtown, and at the time I was in a glam band called Heart Attack Jack, and I had a groupie girl that wanted to meet me downtown to look at clothes or something. So for me, so I don't know. I hope maybe she was buying, but at any rate, I didn't get anything. Clothes, that is, and wink. And so I was, believe it or not, trying on chaps at the time in this sort of Flash Cadillac, and the Pretty Things video came on, and I thought, that song is awesome. I'm going to go get that tape. And two doors over was a store called Record Runner, and I went and bought the tape right away that same day. Actually, the first thing I got, though, is I didn't get this one. I got an EP. But and then after the EP, this album came out, and I jumped right on it, like right away. I saw these guys in Ottawa. They played the Ottawa Congress Center, and I guess it was some kind of charity event or something. And I was trying to talk to girls afterwards, as I used to do at the time. And the singer was sitting there talking to some girls, and I guess I was a bit of a jackass. He was he was talking to some girls. And I said something like, "Hey, thanks for coming to Ottawa. This is a charity event," and he didn't know. And I said, "Oh, you don't even know you're playing a charity event?" And he looked at me like I was the biggest jerk in the world. So in retrospect, I might have been. But at any rate, I'd love to see these guys. I'd love it if they ever got back together. They were really, really good. It was a good live show too. They had J. Scott King from Brunette on bass guitar. I think the drummer Shore Johnson went on to do Real Estate. No idea what the guitar player's doing these days, but come on, guys, let's hear a little bit more from you. Now, my last tape for the day is another Canadian artist. This is Tim Karr, and the album is Rubbing Me the Right Way. I actually don't know a hell of a lot about this person or tape. What I understand, though, is I think he's from Montreal, and I just got to change my arm here. I think he's from Montreal, and he very much looks like a Bret Michaels type. So like he looks kind of like Bret Michaels, no shirt, the pucker, and all that stuff. So Metal Edge, I'm sure, ran a piece on him saying, you know, how cool he was. So I went and got the album, and I don't love it. He's got a song called "Rubbing Me." Wait, what was it called? I think that the single was "Rubbing Me the Right Way." I can't see it on here though. Yeah, it was. And the video, I don't know. I think he was going for like a Michael Monroe vibe or something. It was okay. I think I got this tape at a record store on Bank Street. It was like a used record store. I think it might have been called like Bonehead Music or something. But somewhere I can't remember exactly the name of it. I asked people recently what that store was called, and they couldn't remember. But they were selling a lot of hairband stuff for really cheap back in the time. And so I picked this up, I think, for like $1 or something. I'm like, I'll give it a whirl. And it's, you know, I mean, I gather it has its fans, but I don't hate it. I don't pick it up. And he does look like Bret Michaels. So anyway, yeah, that's 3 Canadian artists and bands. I'm just going to give you my recollections about. Do you have any of these tapes? I'd love to hear it down below. Do you think I should be doing more of these? Some people said I should do some interviews. I don't know about that. Other people have that area covered, but let me know what you think, and we'll see you on the next video. All right, thanks.